everyone, today we will be rounding to the nearest 10 and 100. So we'll use the same number to round it twice. We'll round it once to the nearest 10 and then once to the nearest 100. Alright, let's get started. So I'm going to cut my board in half. We're going to round 321 to the nearest 10, and then we'll do it again to the nearest 100. Okay, so when I'm rounding a 3-digit number to the nearest 10, I have to look at not only the tens place, but also the hundreds place. Because when we take 100, it can be broken into 10 tens. So if we have 3 tens, that gives us 30, plus 2 tens, that gives us 32 tens. 32 tens, if we sat here and skip counted by tens 32 times, would give us 320. So that would be our first benchmark on our number line. Now, since we're rounding to the nearest 10, we're adding 10. That gives us 330, and in the middle would be 325. Now we can put 321 on our number line and find out where it belongs and what it is closest to. 320, 321 is right about there. So what is it closest to? Is it closest to 320 or 330? It is closest to 320. So we would say that 321 rounds to 320 because it is closer to 320 than it is to 330. All right, let's stick with that same number, 321. This time we're going to round it to the nearest 100. Now, just like we did yesterday, the hundreds, we only have to look at the hundreds place. So the hundreds place in this number is 3. 3 hundreds is equal to 300. So that would be our first benchmark number. Since we're rounding to the nearest 100, we're going to add 100. 300 plus 100 gives me 400, which is my second benchmark number. And our midpoint, smack dab in the middle, would be 350. Okay, we need to put 321 on the number line. Since we're doing to the nearest 100, we are going to do jumps of 10 because it's going to be very difficult to try to fit 21 little jumps on this number line. 300, 310, 320. I'm going to stop there because if I go to 330, I went too far. So 321 is right around there. It's closest to 300. So 321 rounded to the nearest 100, is 300 because it is closer to 300 than it is to 400. Take a few seconds to look at that. All right, let's try one more before you're off to do your own. Same thing, we're going to keep the same number and we're going to round that same number to the nearest 10 and the nearest 100. All right, this time let's do 788 to the nearest 10 and 788 to the nearest 100. Okay, so remember I told you that the hundreds can be broken into tens. So when we're rounding to the nearest 10 with a 3-digit number, we're looking at the hundreds and the tens place. So we have 78 tens. Don't forget to put that little 0 on the end. So really, that gives us our first benchmark of 780. Add 10 for your second benchmark. That gives you 790. And in the middle, 785. Now you can place your target number, 788, on the number line. 781, 782, 783, 784, 785, 786, 787, 788. What would you say that is closest to? 780 or 790? It is closest to 790. So we would say that 788 rounded to the nearest 10 is 790 because it is closer to 790 than it is to 780. All right, now we're going to take that same 788 and round it to the nearest 100 this time. Since we're in the hundreds, rounding to the nearest 100, we only have to look at the hundreds place. 7 hundreds equals 700. That is my first benchmark. Since I'm rounding to the nearest 100, I'm adding 100. 700 plus 100 is 800. What's the midpoint? What comes in the middle? 750. Okay. Now we need to place our target number, 788, on our number line. We're going to do jumps of 10. All right, let's go. 710, 720, 730, 740, 750, 760, 770, 780. Stop. If we go to 790, we went too far. So 788 is right about there. Is it closest to 700 or 800? It's closest to 800. So we would say that 788 rounded to the nearest 100 is 800 because it is closer to 800 than it is 700. All right, as always, if you have any questions or you need any help, please reach out to me. I will be more than happy to help you. Have a great day, everybody.